Introduction to Function in Programming. Myself, Yogara Chanavan, ID number 01DIT24F2030. So first of all thing, this is our lesson outline. First one, what are the function? Second is what are the advantages of function? And then third one, types of function. In the types of function, got the two things. First one is built-in function. Second one is a user-defined function. What are a function? Function is in programming a function like a mini program or a receivable block of a code that is designed to perform a specific well-defined task. Think of it like a receipt in a cookbook. Instead of writing out the step to make a sauce every single time, you just say follow the sauce receipt. This makes the main receipt your main program shorter, easier to read, and easier to manage. The main use of function is used to break down a complex program into smaller, manageable, and logical parts. This makes a code easier to write, debug, and maintain, and extract, etc. So, define the function is a function is a self-contained block of code that encapsulates a specific task or a group of related tasks. It takes a input, process it, and returns an output. Most function of three key points: input, uh, process, output. This is short form they call IPO chart. Okay, input the function the data you pass to the function. Process is the code inside the function that does the work. Third one is the output, the result that the function sends back.
Okay, so now I will continue with the advantage of the function. So first, the advantage of function is code reuse. Write the code once in a function and use it many times, so it can save your time. Second, it is save time. No need to rewrite the same code. Third, it is debugging. If there's a mistake, you only need to fix it in one place inside the function. So fourth is the better organization. Breaks a big program into a small manageable part. So for the fifth point is cleaner code. Makes the main program shorter and easier to read and understand.
Now we are going to take a look in the types of functions. First we have here is built-in functions. A built-in function is a library, or we can say built-in function is a pre-written block of code that is already part of the programming language's environment. Developers do not need to write the code for these functions themselves. They can simply use them to perform common standardized tasks. The key characteristic of this code is it's predefined. The code for this function is written by the creators of the programming language and is included in its standard library. Next, it's ready to use. They are available for immediate use without any need for definition from the programmer. Its reliability being part of the core language, they are well tested, efficient, and reliable. Last but not least, they are time saving. They save programmers significant time and effort by the no need to reinvent the wheel for common operations.
Now, here are the purpose of the built-in functions. The first one is to perform mathematical calculations, for example, like square root and the power of. For example, if you want to find the square root of 4, you can use the sqrt function that allows you to square root an integer. And if you want to increase the number by the power of 2, 3 or more, you can use the POW function. Besides that, built-in functions can handle input and output, such as print or input to receive the user input. The third one is it can manipulate text or file, and one of the example is the learn function, the string or string.upper to convert lowercase to uppercase letters. There are much more, but you can explore it on your own and search it on the internet. Last but not least, you can use built-in function to convert data types such as int, string, and float. Now here's the example of the built-in function. For example, as you can see, we use the CMAT library that has already exist in my computer, and we can already access the cosine function in the main function.
So user-defined functions created by the programmer to perform specific tasks tailored to their program needs. These are functions that programmer create on to do their own specific task in a program. Unlike built-in functions like the print or square root, user-defined functions gives us full control, and we decide what the function does and what input it takes and what output it gives. We create them because they help solve unique problems, make our code look more organized, and simplify so much of complex operations, and can be reused in other programs as well. And for the key characteristics, Part 2. User-defined functions have a few key characteristics. Like first is the input and output. They can take the input, we call them parameters, and can return them to an output value. This makes them flexible for handling different kinds of data. Next is the scope variables. Inside a function are local, meaning they only exist while the function runs. This prevents them from interfering with other parts of the program. Then we have components, a function usually that has three parts: the declaration or prototype, the definition, and the call. So this gives our program a clear structure and flow. And finally, we have maintainability. If we need to update something, we only change it in one place, which then makes the debugging, like finding the errors or any bugs in our program, and makes it to update much more easier. And for part 3, the three parts of a user-defined function. There are three main parts. So first is the function declaration, or we also will call it as a prototype. So this tells the computer about the function's name and the return type and also the parameters. It's usually written at the top of the program up there. And so second, we call it the function call. This is where we actually use the function in our program. So when we call it, the control of the program moves to that function, to the specific function that we need. Lastly is the function definition. This is where the real code lives. It's the part that runs when the function is called.
Now I will continue to the explanation of the function definition. So the function definition have two types. The first is the function header and the second is the function body. Now we can look at the return type. The return type is what type of data the function return. It's just like give back after it finished the task. So next, the function name. The function name is the identifier used to call the function. The parameter list is the set of variables declared in a function's parentheses that receive the value passed to the function. The last one is the function body. The function body is the block of code between the bracket that contain the actual instruction and logic that execute when the function is called. Now we can look at the example 1. So the int is the return type. The is event is the function name. The information in the bracket is the parameter list. And the under one is the function body. So we can look at the example of the temperature converted. So the first line is the function declaration. And the middle one is the main body function. And this line is the function call. It will be from Celsius convert to the Fahrenheit. And the last one is the function definition. That this is the calculation of from the Celsius to the Fahrenheit. So return Fahrenheit. So this is the output of the temperature converted. When I enter the temperature in Celsius, I enter the 55. Then we automatically calculate the Fahrenheit, and it will display the two type of the temperature. This is a 55 degrees Celsius, and this is a 131 degree Fahrenheit. So that's all for our presentation. Thank you for your attention. See you next soon.